I'm Dr. Rakesh Prakash, Associate Professor, Amity School of Communication, Noida. Today, we will discuss about the different types of industry skill for media educators, and one of the such skill is the knowledge of different types of software we are using or the television professionals are using for the purpose of editorial work within the news channel. And one of the most popular software we are using for different kind of editorial activities within the newsroom for the purpose of telecast and for the purpose of so many other kind of activities, for the example for the preparation of the rundown, for the preparation of the news script, for the searching the news story, or for the purpose of archiving of the news story, and so many other types of activity we are doing in the newsroom. So Octopus is the most important editorial software for the purpose of different kind of activities. So we will discuss in detail about each and every activity one by one. So now I am going to start with the basic feature of Octopus. So basically Octopus is we are using the Octopus in the newsroom for the purpose of executing our task with perfection, or executing our task within the given time frame or within the minimum span of time with perfection, with accuracy, and because of that we are using the Octopus. So what kind of work we are doing on the Octopus, and why new channels are preferring Octopus in comparison to the other software for the purpose of editorial task, for the purpose of telecast related issue, or for the purpose of preparing the rundown. So we are preparing the rundown, or rundown producer is preparing the rundown on the news desk, and same rundown is also operated by the panel producer in the production control room, or the same rundown is also used by some other producers, or suppose bulletin producer is working on the Octopus rundown. He is preparing each and everything. At the same time, anybody else can also operate or access the that particular rundown. He can also check the sequence of a story, number of stories, or status of stories. So for different kind of work, different people can access the Octopus or the rundown of the Octopus, or different kind of a story, or the different kind of editorial task we are doing on the Octopus. So this is what people are trying to do. So before moving forward, I am going to discuss about the basic feature of Octopus. So yes, as per the shift and as per the schedule of the channel, we can use the Octopus in different way. For the example, we are creating different types of news pool in the Octopus, and you know that the concept of news pool is basically derived from the NANAP, non-aligned news pool. We are earlier people were the developing countries were using the NANAP for the purpose of gathering and the collection and selection of news for their own purposes, so that they can share the huge amount of news stories within the developing countries. So in the similar way, we are also creating the news pool within the Octopus. So we are creating one news pool for the morning shift, second news pool for the evening shift, third news pool for the mid shift, and fourth news pool for the night shift. So we are segregating the stories according to the shift and according to, and as per the, suppose the stories coming during the morning shift, we are segregating, or we are storing the story into the morning pool. In the similar way, if stories are coming between the mid shift, then we are storing the story in the mid pool. If stories are coming in the evening shift, yes, we are placing that particular story into the evening pool, and if the stories are coming during the night shift, we are placing the story in the night pool. So, there are 4 pools. One is called morning pool, the second one is called mid pool, third one is called evening pool, and the fourth one is called night pool. So, if you wanted to use the story, or if any, suppose morning shift people, after finishing the shift of morning pool, if the producers coming in the mid shift or producers coming in the evening shift, and if they wanted to use the the story of the morning pool, then they can easily search or access the morning pool, and accordingly he can select and he can edit the story, he can use the story from the morning pool. So, because during the 24-hour clock or 24-hour schedule, we are handling around 200 or more than 200 types of story for different kind of bulletin, different kind of program. So, because of that, to segregate the story in a meaningful way, in the Octopus we are using different types of news pool. After that, we are also using a specific project, and we are also using the rundown. Sometimes instead of creating the slug for the story in the news pool, we are directly creating the slug into the rundown. So, it's depend upon the situation or the circumstances. If we are in hurry or we don't have the time, and all of a sudden we will have to create and we will have to produce the content, and we will have to drop the story immediately, and we will have to place the story into the rundown. In that scenario, yes, we are directly creating the slug into the rundown. Otherwise, if we have the time, yes, we are creating the slug according to the news pool. So, for the example, if I am working in the morning shift, definitely I will create the slug into the morning pool. So, but if I don't have time and immediately I am receiving and immediately I will have to deliver the content, in that scenario, yes, I will create the rundown directly into the any specific rundown. For the example, if I am receiving the news at 11 o'clock and immediately I will have to deliver or I will have to release the news, instead of news pool, I will create the rundown into the 11 am. I will create the slug into the 11 am rundown. So, this is what practically we are doing in the newsroom, and we are creating the rundown in different at different places. For the example, sometimes we are creating at the in the news pool, sometimes in the rundown. So, it is depend upon the situation. Now, the next one, what is the difference and why we are creating, most of the time why we are creating the slug with the news pool, and why we are creating the slug only during the emergency period in the rundown. For the example, suppose if I am creating the news pool, if I am creating the slug into the news pool, it means that I can access the story for the longer duration of time. If I am creating the slug with the news pool, it means that I can access the story for the longer duration of time, or maybe I can access the story up to 3 months, because if I am creating the slug with the news pool, it means that the system will preserve that particular story and the slug for the next 3 months. But if I am creating the slug directly into the rundown, it means that the server will automatically delete the slug and the story after 3 days, because of the load on the server. And as per the policy and the guidelines of the channel or the specific channel, most of the time IT people are deleting the story and the footage as well as the script from the server after the duration of 3 days, because they are maintaining the load, they are maintaining the server for the smooth running of the channel. So, because of that, they are it's part of their routine work to delete the additional story, or delete the story according to the relevance, or delete the story according to the importance, or delete the story which is not in use for next 3 days. Or if you have created the slug of the story into the rundown, then definitely they will delete the same story after the duration of 3 days. So, that is the difference. If you wanted to preserve your story for the longer duration of time, yeah, then go for the actual path, go and create the slug of the story into the news pool. And if you want to create the story or create the slug of the story into the rundown, it means that IT people will delete your story after the 3 days. So, this is the basic difference, and this is the reason why people preferring to create the slug into the news pool, and why people preferring to create the slug into the rundown. One more thing, suppose if you have created, due to lack of time, if you have created the story slug into the rundown, in that scenario you can transfer the story from rundown to the news pool. You have the option, you can transfer the story from the rundown to the news pool, and you can save the same story into the news pool. Then in that scenario, yes, you can access the story for the duration for the next 3 months, so or the longer duration of time. So, this is what people are doing on the regular basis. Sometimes they are creating the slug into the rundown because of the lack of time, but yes, if the story is important, then immediately they are giving the command and they are transferring the story, the slug of the story from the rundown of the Octopus to the news pool of the Octopus. So, this is what people are doing. Now, I am going to discuss about one more important aspect of the Octopus. Octopus, it's very easy to use the Octopus. Octopus, Octopus is connected with the PCR, Octopus is connected with the producers, Octopus is connected with your server, and through the server you can access the Octopus at your home. Through the server you can access the Octopus in the VT editor section, or you can access the Octopus in the graphics team. So, in the graphics section also they have the option for accessing the Octopus, because sometimes we are sometimes during the emergency period or the crisis period or the lack of time, we are starting working from the graphics. For the graphic element you do not have to come again to the news desk, and then you will have to type the graphics, and then again you will go over there in the graphics section, and then you will brief the creative directors or the graphic designer about the theme, concept and the design of the graphics. Then again you will have to come back to the desk. So, to save the time, we are also using one additional Octopus software at the graphics section. So, for the emergency situation, we have given the access to the Octopus to the graphic people, so that we can use during the emergency period, and it's depend upon channel to channel or the setup of the channel, what kind of setup they have. But most of the time we have the facility of Octopus on the news desk and in the PCR. So, now our Octopus, or currently the Octopus is directly connected with the news desk, connected with the PCR, connected with the output desk, or the connected with the assignment or coordination desk. So, all these people are using the Octopus for the purpose of better coordination, or for the purpose of sharing the news content with news desk, with all the concerned people within the channel, with speed and accuracy, and that is the reason most of the people are using the service of Octopus. Now I am just telling you, Octopus is very crucial and vital for the coordination and assignment desk. Why coordination and assignment desk is using the Octopus? Because Octopus is there are so many sections in the Octopus, and one of the section is called breaking news. So, at the top of the scope Octopus, there is a option for sharing the breaking news or the important information or the updated kind of information with any particular news or any particular story. So, in case suppose if you are drafting the script for any specific or any particular story, and in between suppose any update is coming related to that particular story, in that scenario, yes, the coordination and assignment people will share the updated information, and you can easily access the same thing, because that particular information will flash at the top of the Scopus and you can easily access, and accordingly you can use the updated information in your script for the purpose of providing the recent and the updated information, or sharing the recent or updated information with your viewers and with your anchor, so that he will read the updated script for the any particular or the any specific story. So these are the options we have in the Octopus, and that is the reason Octopus is highly relevant for the purpose of news channel, and because of that most of the channels are using the Octopus software. Now the you have after, suppose if you are drafting this story for the any program or any issue or the any bulletin, and if you are facing any kind of issue, if you are facing any kind of problem, yes, you also have the option to share your problem or flash the problem. Or suppose if you are receiving any kind of updated information, and if producer have any kind of doubt, he can select that particular updated flash and he can revert on the same. Suppose if I am writing any story about the any kind of issues going on in the parliament, and if I have any kind of doubt or any kind of confusion about that particular update which is coming on the Octopus, yes, I can I will immediately revert the same thing. I will share my opinion, I will share my thought, yes, you have given me the updated information related with this particular story, but yes, tell me what is the relevant kind of answer related with this particular concern, related with this particular issue. So we have such type of options in the Octopus, and accordingly we are using the same thing during the drafting of the script on the Octopus. So we are drafting, we are receiving the update, we are sharing our concern, and we are trying to finish the story. So I am just telling you one more important thing. Suppose if you are creating a rundown as a producer, if you are creating a rundown and you are starting the process of creating the rundown, in that scenario you should follow certain sequence. For the example, if you are writing the story and you are for the purpose of writing the story, it's mandatory for you to create the slug in any particular time slot on the rundown. So for the example, if you are starting if you have started drafting this story, in that scenario the Octopus will show you a color bar. Color bar means Octopus is mainly showing 3 or 4 different types of color bar. For the example, if red color is showing just at the beginning of the story, it means that the story is in preliminary stage. If the blue color is showing, it means that story is the person have already started writing this story. If yellow color is showing, it means that the person has already finished the story, and if green color is showing, it means that the story is ready for the telecast, and if brown color is showing, it means that the story is already telecasted. So these are the certain precautions we should always keep in our mind at the time of drafting the story on the Octopus. And we have one more option. Suppose if you are drafting any particular story, then we have the option to create the graphics with the help of ready-made templates. So option of ready-made templates related with the graphics is already given in the Octopus. So yes, you have the right, or the options are given in the Octopus to create the ready-made graphics with the help of ready-made templates as per the content and as per the nature of a script. You can create the, or you can use, options are already given. You can use, or you can create the header, you can create the asterisk, you can create the band, or you can create the lower band, or you can create the location bag. So all types of options are already given in the Octopus to create the ready-made templates related with your story. Suppose if you wanted to create the live bug, yes, options is already given. Suppose if you wanted to attach the video, yes, options are already given. If you wanted to attach the multiple videos, yes, the options are already given. No, click on the suitable options and attach the number of videos according to your requirement. Suppose if you wanted to run the double window on the script, double window during the bulletin for any particular story, in that scenario, yes, options are already given. Attach two different types of video shot related with your story in the Octopus, and the rundown people will operate, or the people who are operating the rundown on the Scopus, on the Octopus in the PCR, yes, they will run the two windows. So it's very easy. It's very easy to operate the Octopus as a producer, as a rundown producer, as a panel producer. Yes, it's very easy to operate and to run the bulletin without any hurdle, without any problem, and in a very easy manner. So that is the reason most of the people are operating the Octopus for different kind of activities, for different kind of editorial task. For the example, if you wanted to run the breaking news, in that scenario also you have the option. You have the option of full plate ready-made graphic template or the half plate ready-made graphic template. You can easily create the breaking news in the Octopus, and you can attach the video footage and share the same thing with the rundown in your story, and the same rundown, the PCR people can use the same rundown for the purpose of running the that particular breaking news. And you have the option to change the sequence. You have the option to add the story. You have the option to block the story. You have the option to delete the story. You have the option to select, deselect. You have the option to check the duration of any particular story. You have the option to check the duration of 2 stories, 3 stories, or you have the option to check the duration of the whole segment, and you have the option to check the duration of the overall bulletin. So each and everything is very easy on the Octopus, and you can Octopus will show you the duration of your script. Octopus will show you the duration of your video, or the Octopus will show you the duration of the overall story. So you don't have to calculate, just like the earlier people will trying to calculate the duration manually and then trying to calculate the overall duration of the bulletin. Now you don't have to take any kind of tension, any kind of burden if you are using the Octopus. So with the help of Octopus, yes, you can easily calculate the duration of the video. You can easily calculate the duration of the script, or accordingly you can calculate the duration of overall duration of the segment and the overall duration of the bulletin. So now all these things are very easy. And yes, suppose if you wanted to preview the video, suppose if you have attached the clip and you wanted to preview the video on the Octopus, yes, we have the option. If you wanted to check the sequence of shots, if you wanted to check, yes, the a specific byte is used in this particular story, or byte is used by the VT editor or the assistant producer, the associate producer who is responsible for the production part of the story. So if you wanted to check any a specific video or any specific byte or any specific portion, you can check in the Octopus. We have the option to preview the video clip. So we have multiple options, and with the help of that particular option we can check the video clip as well according to our preference, according to our choice. So most of the time they are using the same thing. And again, suppose if you wanted to insert any story from any previous rundown or the any news pool, we have the option to go to that particular section and select the story and then accordingly you can give the command and you can add that particular story into the current rundown. So we have different kind of option, and accordingly we can add the story, we can delete the story, we can select the story from the library or from the archival section. And so it's depend upon. Sometimes suppose if you wanted to run the backgrounder story or the backgrounder information, in that scenario, yes, you can collect the story or select the story from the archival section, and you can immediately run the same thing for your ongoing bulletin. So these are the options we have, and these are the options we are using for the purpose of story or for the purpose of rundown. So all these options we are using for our bulletin, and we have the facility to coordinate with the PCR team for any particular or any specific story. Suppose if you wanted to change the format of the story, yes, you can easily inform or you can easily modify the rundown, and accordingly the PCR people will run that particular story. So it's very easy to coordinate and cooperate with the PCR team on the Octopus for the purpose of modification, for the purpose of any kind of changes, for the purpose of any kind of addition or any kind of deletion, even during the bulletin. So we are using the Octopus for different kind of work. Yes, in the newsroom we are multiple people are working on the similar story. Suppose I am writing during the crisis period. Suppose it's mandatory for any particular producer to run the bulletin in the ongoing bulletin. In that scenario, somebody is writing the anchor link, somebody is writing the first voiceover, somebody is writing the second voiceover. So in certain scenario, if you are using the Octopus, you have the facility to divide one particular story between 2-3 people, so that you can finish the story within the given time frame, or you can finish the story according to the scenario and according to the situation, and accordingly you can run the story immediately during the ongoing bulletin. So these are the features we are using on Octopus, and we are trying to finish the story as early as possible. If you wanted to search the story, if you wanted to add the story, if you wanted to delete the story, if you wanted to create the any particular slot, if you wanted to select the any particular segment from the previous bulletin or any particular segment from any specific bulletin, yes, you can do the same thing. If you wanted to change the rundown, yes, you can do the same thing. If you wanted to preview the video, if you wanted to delete any particular story, or if you wanted to modify the anchor link, yes, you can do the same thing, but in coordination with the rundown producer, in coordination with the panel producer, and you can do each and everything with without any problem, or with without any error, without any issues. So that is the reason Octopus is the most suitable software for the purpose of running the bulletin, or for the purpose of telecasting, for the purpose of drafting, for the purpose of editing, for the purpose of reviewing, for the purpose of previewing. So Octopus is the one of the best software news channels are using for the purpose of overall editorial operation within the newsroom.